Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is the Voge DS625X and this is the review that you've been looking for because this is unscripted, off the cuff and all about being an adventurer on this bike. Now, let me explain, because I've already reviewed this bike and I've made a very good standard review of this bike, letting you know all of the cool features and all the specs and everything else. But when I woke up this morning, I had a text message from the man from Voge, and he put, literally, let me read it to you, he put, "Dear Helmet Head, thank you for a very excellent review as always. You're an absolute legend and of course my absolute favourite. But before you do anything silly with this beautiful brand spanking new bike, we're going to get it collected today at 6 PM. But then he goes on and puts, PS, you are the most gorgeous, best looking man in the entire world. Look at that jawline." He even puts, do you know what? We're going to go above and beyond to get you invited to ABR Festival 2025 so you can stand next to this amazing bike, because most people will want to touch you as much as they want to touch the bike. I love you, the man from Voge. Now, I'm not saying I made up the PS bit whatsoever at all, but what is the thing is he said, before I do anything silly. Now, if you're like me, somebody says don't do something silly, well, what do? You do something silly. So it's an adventure bike. The DS625X is an adventure bike. And the one thing about us adventure riders, when we're riding along, we already know this bike is capable on the road, it does really well, and we'll even show you a little bit more of that later. But when you're riding along, you see a track like this that says it's unsuitable for motor vehicles. Basically, it's a green lane. Some people call it off-roading, other people hate people saying that, but this is a green lane. And when you've got your adventure bike, we want to know that you can go down these green lanes. I might not be insured at all because this is a press bike for this. So if I damage the DS625X, I might just have to keep it. So let's just see how well this bike can handle down here. Well then, shall we check out what this bike's like down the lanes. Now, this should be good because this bike weighs 206 kilograms. It's got a 580cc engine. That I still think is the sweet spot for on and off the road. So let's tilt this camera up, let's get up on the pegs and let's see exactly what this bad boy can do. Well, here at the lower speeds, this is already playful. It's got KYB fully adjustable suspension, what means you can have it firm or soft. Now, it's all on factory settings as we speak, but you can see it feels pretty well planted. But the thing about green lanes, especially when we've had a bit of rain the night before, they can get a bit bogging. Then, of course, the other side is there's stuff like this, a river that we need to cross. Well, there's one thing for it. Let's do this. Up. Whoa, that's deep. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Power, come on, baby. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Yes, a bit of rear end spin out as well. Oh, come on, that's been nothing for this mighty bike. Nothing at all. Oh. You know when you generally go, do you know what? That's going to be an interesting one, but that was easy. And to be fair, I chickened out and sat down because I felt it wobble underneath me, but should have just gunned it more, shouldn't I? I suppose the other thing we should talk about when you're down lanes like this is, of course, you've got switchable ABS and traction control. So if you hold down the button, let's start the bad boy out first. So if you hold down the button, you can switch things like your ABS off, and you can hold down your traction control button and you can switch your traction control off. And these lights now permanently on the dash, meaning you've got free spin of your wheels and your brakes. Shall we? Oh, that's rear end going. Oh yes. Okay, back up on the pegs. Let's cut around the puddle. We've been through a big one. So going back to how this feels, if you are into your green laning and you've got your light sort of CRFs and you've got your Voge 300s, I still think the Voge 300 is absolutely incredible, and it's that bike I said that I do want to put in my garage and I do want to use as a green laner because it's capable. But if you just want one bike, one lot of insurance, this could be it, couldn't it? Because look how lovely this is, soaking up every part of this trail going. And while I was doing the piece to camera earlier, I had two people, one guy go, "Oh, is that the new da-da-da?" I was like, "No, it's a new Voge." He was like, "That looks amazing." I went, "Well, it is." And I even had an old boy and a farmer come up to me thinking I was doing like proper off-road. He said, "I can leave a gate open for you if you like. You make sure it's closed afterwards." I was like, "No, I'll stick to the trail." But he looked at this and that was his instant thought. He even sat down here. It's comfortable. Right, back up on those pegs. Let's soak this in. The one thing about adventure riding and taking on beautiful little trails like this is, look, there's no cars, no people, it's just you and your machine. And it's a very nice place to be. It really, really is. And if you look at the off-road maps, the green lane maps, there's plenty of apps and stuff out there. There are so many of them to go and explore, and just take time, chill out and enjoy it. Now this sounds quite a sporty bike. It doesn't have that deep, down, over the top noise coming out the back. It means you're not going to scare the farmers' animals or dog walkers. It's just pleasant and nice. But look how well this handles. I mean, to be fair, up here on the pegs, this is just a beautiful place to be. But look, we've got a bumpy bit coming up here. Let's sit down. Let's ride it. Not everyone is happy up on those pegs, are they? They want to start sat down and comfortable. Don't get me wrong, it's the wrong position. And you can hear my voice, I can feel those ridiculous bumps. But you can see the bike's not moving too much underneath me. It's staying sturdy. But let's go back to where we're comfortable, up on these pegs. And it's just, again, a lovely place to be. Let's step up the pace a little bit in a second. Right, here we go. Let's see what she's like a bit more speed. And she is just soaking it in. Here we go. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Look at it! Get your knees down. You can feel that real wear if you want to really twist it open. But yeah, if you want to jump on a trail and just soak up every moment, this is a really good place to be. And the balance of it and the short wheelbase will inspire that confidence for you to maybe take on some more aggressive green lanes and off-road. But I think this, let's have a little skid at the end. Oh yes. This is cool, isn't it? Very cool indeed. So now we're back on the tarmac. Let's see if we can change the modes as we go. Let's hold down ABS again. You can. That is awesome. Let's put traction control. Hold it down. Yes, you can. So on the fly, and that's a massive thing for us adventure riders. You want to be able to change your modes on the fly, because so many bikes these days make you physically stop, either turn your bike off and put it back on again, or mess around going through loads of settings to be able to turn that traction control and ABS back on. That is absolutely legendary. Let me jump off the bike just up here and show you another thing to bear in mind as well when you're out and about, because a lot of the time this isn't even considered when people are buying a bike, but it is massively important, especially if you want to do some trails, because the risk of giving yourself a puncture, well, that's the big risk. So let's jump off again. This is the thing right here. You see these beautiful gold, bold head, gold sparkling men sort of spokes. You know what I'm trying to say, because bold people have heads and the sun glares off it and it looks like gold and it shines in your eyes and you can't see. But these here are obviously tubeless tyres. Now you see here the spokes, they come out the side. This is how you know on bikes. They've got different designs, but it's pretty much how it works. So inside, this is just a tyre, there's no tube in it. Now a lot of adventure bikes, so the Africa Twin is a perfect example, that has tubes. So if you do have a puncture, you are knackered. But if you're out and about on an adventure, take a tyre repair kit and bump, plug your hole and crack on. I like that feature. This bike generally, in my opinion, has thought of everything we need. And now it handles on lanes like that. Oh, I just want to do some gnarly stuff on this bike. Anyway, going back to the road, going back to being able to control things on the fly. So we're currently in E mode, the more sensible mode. Don't get me wrong, it's still quick. But when you're back on the road, to get to trails and explore, you want to be able to flip between these modes, what we've just done. But you want to be able to take on the roads, don't you, and have some fun on the way. You don't just want to use this as a green lane. This is an adventure bike. So again, on modes, I can hit mode, and we go into S mode. Sports mode, baby! Now, talking about speed. Speed's a big thing, isn't it? So speed, 60 miles an hour, obviously it does it with absolute ease. 70, it does it with ease. Now, there'll be no way at all in a million years I know you can do 115 miles an hour on this bike and it doesn't feel like it's struggling. For a 580cc bike, 115, there would be no way, because that would be completely illegal. That I'd know any of that sort of thing. Where are we going now? Oh, gated road. What's gated? Is that gated? Is that gated? I don't know. Let's go this way. Woo-hoo-hoo! That's the thing I love about bikes like this. You can go anywhere, see anything. On, off, doesn't matter. Just taking every single thing possible. Oh, where's this go? Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, more green lane in, I think. Yeah, baby. Straight back up on these pegs, straight back up to loving it. I really don't want them to collect this at 6 o'clock today. I have literally fallen in love with this bike. So far, this year, this is my favourite bike I have reviewed. What is a massive, bold statement, but because look at where we're at, this great middle ground. Decent on the road, just as amazing off the road. Pick a lane, shoot along it, bada boom. Anyway, back to this weight and this flickableness. And I've left my traction control on this time, so it might hinder us a little bit, but so far, it's doing a great job. I don't know where this goes, I don't know what's in front of me right now, I don't know this lane, but I know this bike. And look at this, oh, you see then? The traction control kicked in and slowed me right down with the flick of the rear wheel. Well, to be fair, if you're new, isn't too much of a bad thing. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Oh yes. Now I do want to go back to that sweet spot with this 580cc engine, because I've got the big adventure bike and I'm now selling my big adventure bike, my Africa Twin. I've put it up for sale because I've decided that's it. I'm not riding it enough. I get lots of press bikes in, but I want a bike, a Voge, or one of the bikes that I've been using so much. I really want long term to get to know it, because I get so many questions, it's madness, right? So literally people go, well, we'll see what these are like in 3 years time, we'll see what this is like in so many months and all this stuff. It's just a fine looking beast, isn't it? It's just fine. I even like the point here. I just like the way it looks at the front with the way the lights, when you switch on it does the light show and everything, but that just it looks mean. It's got that look to it. Right, this looks more fun, doesn't it? Shall we? Let's stick this side. Got to pull my helmet a little bit down, and I'm getting sweaty. Look at this. So let's try it engine, because this is gravelly. I want to keep a medium pace, we don't get loads of slip. Nah, let's go. Whoa, that is gravelly. Here we go. Let's go through the centre road, pick our line. I mean, this is fair, so this is very playful and low geared. But yeah. Wow. Just wow. Look at that. This would be the perfect place, wouldn't it? The perfect place indeed to get a brew and just chill on this rock sat here. Do you know what? I might not have a fancy portable coffee machine that I really do want, and I've been offered one for a review once and I said no because I couldn't negotiate the payment terms. And I should have brought a flask of tea or coffee to sit here and enjoy it while the sheep literally are going past me. But I just want to take that moment off the bike to enjoy the bike, because look at this view, and I go back to that whole thing. The confidence that this bike is giving me is just incredible. Now, I've ridden a lot of bikes. I've done a lot of reviews, and people will say I love every bike that I ride. Well, the truth of it is I love riding bikes, so I do get excited every time I get on a new bike. And I do come back and I do tell you about some of the things I don't like, if I find things I generally don't like about a bike. Now, no bike is perfect, and the Voge 625 DSX is not perfect, because there is a few things, because it's a £5,999 bike and of course £200 on the road. But it's the most ridiculous thing in the world about this bike that's not perfect, and that's for me, and that's the seat. I find the seat too hard. I generally find it quite a firm one, and I think on a long journey, and I mean a proper long adventure, I would have to buy a seat cushion. Those little bit there you put in them seat cushions, and it will fix it. It will make it such a nicer place to be. But for general riding, for your good hour blast, your little bit through the lanes, or just going out to the pub, or grabbing your favourite coffee, it's perfectly fine. £5,999 plus 200 quid on the road, £699 for full aluminium luggage as well, so you can get this bike completely packed out for less than £7 grand, completely fully loaded. And I absolutely love this bike. I just think it is just the perfect sweet spot, and I think I'd love to own it in my garage. That's how I feel about this bike. It's just incredible, and it's brought me to here. Look at this. What a view. Well, I suppose I need to stop gushing so much over this bike. But when you get a bike and you go, this is the adventure bike for me, this is how I'm feeling about this machine. And I rode the 525, the Voge 525, that is an incredible bike. When I got that on as a press bike, I even rode it all the way to Wales for a cup of tea and back. I can't remember what the mileage was, but say around 300, 400 miles I did in a day to test it out, to show everybody what it was capable of. And even then I was like, this bike's incredible. And it just felt like I wanted that little bit more. And when I heard this was coming, I was desperate to get my hands on one. So motogb.co.uk are the UK distributors for this bike, and they've got dealerships popping up everywhere. They're becoming pretty much one of the biggest dealerships here in the UK. So what you'll be able to do is pop over to their website and really easily look for a dealership to go and test ride this bike for yourself, because you don't need to take my word for it. You generally don't. You don't need to just order it and get it delivered. That you can do, and that's what I like about MotoGB as well. Or when you're at the ABR festival and you're literally touching this bike, let's just check the reg. There we go, Papa Juliet 25 Mike Hotel Mike. Ride this bike and walk up to them and go, hang on, let me get myself in camera in the background. And then, hang on. Right. Walk up to them, right? Go up to the stand. Specially ask for a man called Rod and go to him, can I test ride the Voge? Just do that for me. And also that man, plus everyone else there, you can actually leave, I think it's 100 quid deposit, I could be wrong. And you can, let's get this gate undone. Leave £100 deposit if you do want to buy it, and literally take this bike. We'll get this bike delivered to your house, organise it with them, or they'll put you in contact with a local dealer. Because if you're like me and you love riding and you love adventure bikes, and you're going to be impressed. I don't know any 580cc bike will hold the speed this will. Not new, we're talking about brand new bikes here, because we've got a lot of things going on, haven't we, with emissions and stuff, that will hold the road at those paces I've been riding at without feeling lacking or needing more. So if you're going to the festival, it's a no-brainer. Pop that on there. Okay, let's switch this traction control off because it's doing my tree in. Oh yes. And let's keep this party going. I love how much I can get the back end to spin up or flick around on demand. I need to get out of first gear. Come on, let's pop down. Let's pop it into at least second. That's another side that's quite good. You've got a decent amount of range between each gear. So 2 if you want to take it steady, and 3 is plentiful for off-road. You don't really need any more. Look how rutted this is. Now the Mitsler tyres come with it, are really sticky on the road, as I've shown in a previous video. But they're not too bad for this either. Not too bad at all. Just look at this beautiful road. Let's go down the middle, shall we? Let's take the fine line. Let's take the fine line, baby. Yeah, this is good. This is lovely jubbly. But let's pop over to this one. A little bit of a rut coming up there, but it's good. We'll take the central part of that. Whoa, that's going to be bumpy. Woohoo! And again, KYB just soaked it up. Well, look, we've got a puddle to go through here. Way, that just went right in my boot. Deeper than it looked. Oh, that's so cooling. Yeah, look, just easy, steady control of this. Sublime, people. I generally hope people take the opportunity to get their leg over on one of these. If it's not at one of the upcoming events, pop over to one of the dealerships, because yeah, I'm there. And I generally wouldn't be putting up my Africa Twin for sale, and it is. If you want to buy my Africa Twin 2016 plate, it's done 45,000 miles, full service history including the massive one because it's got a DCT, so that's all done and dusted. New tyres on it, I think during the Africa trip, service just afterwards, and it's ready to go. And I'll put a brand new 12-month MOT on it, and I tell you what, £5.5 grand to own my bike. It's been to Africa, been on some adventures, been on the channel now for a couple of years. You can own that, because I would rather have this than have that. So you want my Africa Twin? If you're doubting me, buy my Africa Twin. I'll get my hands on one of these and we'll see exactly how good this is in a year's time, because that's all the comments you get. It's not going to last. Well, I've ridden Voge now for a while. I've spoken to the dealership, I've spoken to Voge themselves and MotoGP, etc. And these don't come back. These don't come back. These are reliable and these last, and they're going into dealerships, you know, a year or so later, and they're going, look, no sign of rust, no sign of nothing. Voge know how to make bikes. That's the reason why they make a lot of parts for other manufacturers, let's say, that are the mainstream, as we call them, manufacturers, and they're basically this. Woo-hoo-hoo! I believe we're coming to the end of the road, because there's a nice little Tesla park there. Uh-oh. Enjoying this well too much. Well, I appreciate this is probably a slightly different review than I normally do, and I can't stop myself but basically gush over this Voge, because I really like it. It's to the point where it's like, I don't know what else to keep saying, because I can't find things I don't like other than a seat that in reality is not even that bad at all. Even right now I'm going, still really comfortable. I know no bike's perfect, I know that, but I just struggling to find anything I don't like. I suppose if you want to get really down to it and you go, well, you know, it's £5,999, that's ridiculously cheap with that 200 quid on the road. You could go, it's missing cruise control, and yeah, do you know what, that is annoying on a big adventure, cruise control, but there is stuff you can buy these days to pretty much do the same thing, and it's like 30-40 quid, so it's not the end of the world, is it? Well, if you've enjoyed this kind of more off the cuff, having a bit of fun, experiencing the bike itself, a style review, then please give this video a thumbs up. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because one of the things I love to do on this channel is not just get my hands on a press bike and just ride it for a day, tell you what I think and feel, and I do that, I do what everyone else does, but I like to keep it for that little bit longer when I possibly can, and be able to show you exactly what the bike's like, including taking them on some bonkers adventures, and also doing things like this, a bit of green laning and pushing the boundaries a little bit too far. And I enjoy doing that, and that is the thing. And if you do too, please hit that subscribe button. But what I'm going to do now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this video showing you exactly what this bike looks like out on the road, because it's my final ride. I'm absolutely gutted. I really am gutted this one's going back, because if they'd take my Africa Twin and leave me this would be the machine that I would currently pick right now. Anyway, let me leave you the video, and I will leave you a little box that will come up that you can click on, and what it will show you is, it will show you the main review I did for this bike, with all that spec, all the stuff, all that information that you need, with all that, you know, all the geeky stuff. You can click on that and you can follow that, or you can watch it and enjoy it, etc. And I'll see you here on the Helmet channel in the next crazy bonkers episode. Take care, buy a cool bike, and enjoy the beautiful weather and the ride.
Feeling in my bones, I can feel it in my veins. Hands I can feel the winds of change. You live and you learn, and I hope I've seen enough to make something right and make up for what I've lost. I was down, but things are looking up. I wanna get high on you, caught by surprise by you. Want you to make my heart feel as much as I know it should. I wanna get high on you, caught by surprise by you. Want you to